everybody, welcome to Monkey Business and Bees. Today's video is a little bit different. No, not a little bit. It's very different from other videos that I have done. This video is about me blabbing and blubbering about myself. This is some information that I wanted to share with you guys because I think it's really important for me to share this with you guys because this links to something that I will tell you later on. So I thought it was a good idea to share this with you before I tell you the other information. So let's get started. My name is Nena. I am 25 years old. I will turn 26 in July 28. And 5 years ago, almost going into 6 in April, I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer when I was 19 years old. That's when I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And I noticed it, or I find out something was wrong with me because I had a big ball in my right hand side of my stomach, like bulging out. Like before I was skinnier than I am right now. I was about 110 pounds or so, and a huge ball would come out, like you can see it, right? When I was taking a shower, that's when I noticed it. I went to the doctor, and the doctor said that I was being constipated and my poop, gross, was going in other areas, and that's why I was getting the bulge in my stomach. I got some pills for that problem, and apparently I was allergic to those because all my fingertips and my toes, nothing, my face got swollen. So I stopped immediately. I actually made another appointment on another hospital with another doctor and said what I had. So she made me an appointment. They actually sent me to the OB-GYN department, the gynecologist, so the lady doctor, and she checked me. She did an ultrasound, like on the surface of my stomach, and she noticed something, and she wouldn't tell me what it was. So she sent me over to another ultrasound lady, technician, and she did one as well. I guess the thing that they used was better, and she was actually a technician, and she would know better, and she checked and stuff, and I would ask her a question like, oh, what you see, or whatever, and she would just tell me, oh, your doctor will discuss this with you. So I thought something was wrong, right? So I went back to the doctor, and the doctor told me that I had a tumor in my right ovary, or at least that's what they saw right now, and it was most likely cancer. Well, at that moment I was devastated. I cried at the moment. I was accompanied by my hubby, and we went to my mom and told them everything and stuff. And I went to another hospital, and they did another ultrasound, and they say yes, it is a tumor. We have to do a CT scan, and I basically stayed the whole entire day in the hospital. So they did a CT scan. They put a little thing, a little liquid they put in your veins, so your veins will glow, and all your insides, I guess, will glow, and it's easier for them to spot things on the CT scan. And they say, yeah, I had a big tumor in my right ovary, and I needed to go to a specialist over in Stanford Hospital. So I was transferred over to Stanford Hospital, and she checked it again. She checked the CT scan. She checked the ultrasounds that they had transferred over from the other hospital, those were like on a CD with all the information, so they needed to do another ultrasound themselves because I already had many done. And the only thing they checked was my blood, and I guess my blood count and other things were low. So they told me that they needed to do a surgery to take the mass out of my body, so they can actually see where exactly it was, if it wasn't just connected to my ovary or it was going to other places. So I had the surgery in April 2nd, 2009, and so I was accompanied by my family, and I went into the surgery. I can remember this very clearly when I went in the operation room. It's just like in the movies. It was so weird. You just see a white room with a bunch of like white lights, and I was feeling like I needed a cough, and I remember I put my hand up like because I saw that the thing that they put the oxygen or the anesthesia that they put on your face, a little thing, was coming towards my face, so I wanted to stop that, and then I was knocked out. I don't remember anything until they were waking me up when the surgery came out, and the doctor told me that my tumor was only connected, thankfully, only connected to my right ovary, and that was the only area that they saw it was damaged, and the size of the tumor was the size of the cantaloupe melon, so like about this much. So that's why you can see it in my flat belly. And they told me that I needed a rest, and then they come back later on. So I believe like a week or 2 weeks later, I came back. And I'm not going into much detail about this because I don't want to remember. Or if you really want me to do a detailed video, then you can tell me down below, and then I can do another one. This is just about little tip, how do I call it? Just the intro, just the top parts. So that's why I'm going really fast. After I came back from my surgery, they did a surgery like from my belly button, like 2 fingers down my belly button, all the way down to like a line, and they took the tumor out, and I still have the scar. So I went back to that appointment again. They were still checking my blood, and they told me that I needed to have chemotherapy because they wanted to discard anything from that tumor to have spread out, or for the tumor to regrow back, and to clear everything out of my stomach and like my area there. So I had to take the surgery, the chemotherapy, and I started in April 20th. And when they told me I needed chemotherapy, I didn't really think about, I'm gonna get chemicals in my hair and my body, or I'm gonna be tons of days in the hospital. Not even when they told me that I needed surgery, I wasn't scared. I was just nervous and was wondering what's gonna happen or something like that, if I was gonna wake up, but not scared. And that's what happened when they told me I needed chemotherapy. I wasn't scared either. I was just like blank, like I didn't know what to think, because like I was just 19 years old, and at that time I didn't know what cancer was. I just know that if you had cancer, you probably died. And chemotherapy, the only thing that clicked to me And that devastated me the most was losing my hair. That was like my first question. Am I gonna lose my hair? And then the doctor said, yes, you're gonna lose your hair, but it will grow back. I'm like, yeah, it'll grow back in like tons of days or months. My hair was pretty long, like halfway my back. I think it was a little bigger. I can't really remember at the moment right now then. But it was pretty long, and I liked my hair. And I wanted it to fall out. And so the work crying came in, and I started my chemo April 20th. So I had my surgery April 2nd, and then April 20th I started chemo, and I had all this bunch of medicines, Biomycin and other ones. I remember Biomycin because it made me cry. They couldn't find my veins. They were hiding. They couldn't find them, so I had a bunch of needles and IV things put into my hands. I had one here and one here. I had one here, and then I believe another one here. Yeah, I had 4 of them, and they needed to put this other medicine in Benadryl. I think it was Benadryl actually, for me not to be allergic or have a weird reaction to the other medicine. And she injected me, the nurse injected me on my leg and like my thigh, and that was the worst pain ever. I could feel the liquid going into my skin and burning inside my leg, and I thought if I touch it, I thought it was gonna rip out or something. And that was like the most pain that I had in all the chemo and surgery process. Later on, they took out the needles from the areas that I mentioned, and they put an IV here. And this IV had like a tiny little tube that went all the way to my neck, and that's where all the medicine was put. Later on, I wasn't needed to be hooked anywhere else, except I needed some other medicine, and they will put it in my arms, which they ended up putting it in my stomach. Like that was the only fatty area I had, like right here where the belly button is. They ended up poking in there and putting the medicine there. And other than that, all the other stuff was in through the IV. I still have scars like from the needles that were put here. I have like brown streaks. I'm very white, like ghostly white, so you can see the streaks. And I have this scar over here. I have long sleeve, but yeah. I have this scar from this is from the IV. I don't know if you can hear it. You're gonna see it, and you can hear it. Can you see? This is, and like this 2 other parts, like this little white parts, is where the needle went in. So I had 2, and then this brown little spot here was actually from like the band-aid or the little patch that they put to cover the IV incision in the little area that it goes in. So it burned me, and that's why I have the scar there. And so my medicine was put all through that IV, and I finished June 8th. It was like I would go 1 entire week to the hospital and stay there and get my chemo done. So it was only liquids through the IVs. I would get CT scans and X-rays and all the good stuff that they do to you. I had my hubby all the time with me. I thank him very much for being there with me every single day. He stayed with me. My parents and my family would visit me when I was there the week or week and a half sometimes, and then I would go home for the next week, and then I would only go Mondays. Yeah, Monday or Wednesday, I can't really remember, for like 1 hour, and then they put more medicine in. Then I will rest that week, and then like the rest of the week, and then come back again to the hospital and stay another entire week, and so on and so on, from April 20th to June 8th. And I really didn't get all those what do you call it, symptoms and stuff. I puked like 3 times, I think. Only 3 times, yeah. Because when I feel like puking, I will like concentrate in like one area and concentrate, and I wouldn't puke, because it's like the horrible sensation to feel everything come out of your mouth. That's disgusting. So yeah, my hair fell out. My hair fell like after the first session of chemo. My hair was falling. I had it long, and then I cut it like right here over my shoulder, and so it would be easier for me to see my hair falling. And after the first session, when I put my hair on the pillow, I can see hair falling. When I walk, you see it falling over my shoulders, and I just decided to just cut it all off. I didn't want to see it falling off or having little patches of hair like other patients that had like a little bit of hair here. Like, those are decisions totally understandable, but I didn't want that. I didn't want my hair to be patchy. So I told my mom to cut it. So she grabbed the hair, I don't know what, the machine where men cut their hair, and she shaved it off, left it like half an inch big, and I was total bald, like with a little bit of hair. And through the other sessions of chemo, I would just go like that, and then my hair will, like spick out, like fall out, or I just grabbed a roller like for lint or tape, and I just started tapping my head and just took it all off. I thought that if I would leave it long or leave it here, it would be terrible for me to see my hair falling like that. So I guess I wasn't brave enough to cut it off, even though I liked it, and my mom cut it for me. So after the chemo ended, I had my hair grew back like 2 months ago. 2 months later, it started growing because I was taking contraceptive pills. They gave them to me, so my period. So I wouldn't have a period when I had chemotherapy, because it was enough me using my blood and to use it another way. So they gave me pills for not to have a period at all. So I didn't have a period throughout the chemo. And they gave me another type of pills, so I would get it back and it would be regular. So the pills helped me get my hair back. And I actually lost like my hair and like my hair from my arms and legs and everywhere. I had no hair. I was very smooth, and my nails were very thin and delicate, and they would break. If I leave them long, they would break. And I also lost all my eyelashes. I had no eyelashes. I had a few eyebrows. And after the 2 months, with the help of those pills, I think, I got my hair back, and I had my eyebrows, my eyelashes, and a few hairs on my skin back. And I would use a hat or like a little scarf thing around my head, and I wouldn't let anybody else see my head unless if I was in my home or with my sister or anybody. I would have it off. I would have nothing on my head. But other than that, if I went to the store or anywhere else, I would have it on. I would have the hat or the little handkerchief thing, the little scarf thing on my head. Because I didn't want them to see I was bald. But later on, it really didn't matter. I kind of liked my bald head. My hair was all like circular. It wasn't all bumpy and stuff. I have a nice scalp. And I reminded myself, and actually somebody else told me, I think it was my brother, have you seen the movie B for Vendetta, the girl? That I look like her at the moment, I don't know now. But that got me excited, that's why I like my bald hair. Later on I just learned how to style it and whatever. But, so after the chemo they told me I could not get pregnant after 5 years, so those 5 years I needed to take contraceptive pills. All those 5 years they checked me. Like the first 3 years I had checkups. No, like the first 2 years I had checkups every 3 months. Then I had the following 3 or 4 years I had checkups. Actually, until 5 years I had checkups every 6 months until they released me. They released me in January of last year, I believe. Not last year, 2014, but like 2013, I think, or 2014. They released me and they told me that if I wanted to, I could stop taking the contraceptive pills and get pregnant if I wanted to. But those 5 years I was banned from pregnancy and I couldn't get pregnant. So those 5 years I took those pills for all those years. And as a Mexican, I was coming from Mexican origins and stuff, they believe that if you take so long those pills, you're not going to be able to have babies because your uterus or whatever gets so used to not having that you end up not having at all. So if that was my question, like every time I went to the doctor, am I going to get pregnant? Am I going to have babies? Blah blah blah. And they always said yes. They just said it was going to be a little bit harder because I have no right ovary. Did I say that? I'm thinking, well, they took the tumor with my right ovary. I have no right ovary. They took it with the tube, I think, and the right ovary, and I only have the left side. So that's why it was going to be a little bit more difficult for me to get pregnant than like a regular person with 2 ovaries would have. And since I was taking the pills for so long, it was going to be an extra harder for me to be a mom. And that really got into my head. And when they told me that that I wasn't able to have babies, that I was allowed now, if I wanted to start trying to have a baby, then I started trying to have one because I wanted to discard that. I wanted to discard it to say I am able, not because I just have one ovary. I'm not going to be able to. So for let's say from January to July, yeah, like it was a constant try and a constant fail. I let the 3 months or the time that they tell you you can stop taking the pills, so they will clear out and flush out. And all until July we tried, and it was fail, and I got very frustrated, sad, and confused, and depressed, that I just stopped. I didn't want to try it anymore. If it happened, it happened, right? So that's when I started my channel in YouTube. Started doing videos so I can distract myself from thinking about that and think about something else. And that's when I started YouTube, and I let my mind go and not think about it. And last November, December 12 is when I noticed I didn't have a period, and I was feeling funny, and I went into a pregnancy test, and like one of those cheapy ones, and I had 2 lines, and I was very excited. And then I told my hubby, and then we went to buy one, like the digital ones that says not pregnant or pregnant, and we bought one of those, and that one said pregnant, and it said more than 3 weeks. So that got me really excited. And that's the news that I was telling you, that it was good to be connected. I haven't been able to go to the doctor besides like Planned Parenthood, because my insurance here is a bit crazy, and I'm able to go to a doctor until March 1st. Yeah, thank you, Obamacare. So I've been waiting it out and checking myself and being careful and taking vitamins, because today I am 15 weeks and 5 days pregnant. My belly is a little bit small. I don't have those pregnant symptoms that much. Like the first 3 months, I only puked one time. I did feel sleepy and dizzy and want some foods and stuff, but I didn't get the major pregnancy symptoms like puking out and now lifting off from the toilet, because you have to stay there because you're going to puke again. So I'm lucky for that, huh? I didn't get none of those things. My belly is growing, so I will be almost 4 months in Sunday. And I proved all those people wrong, right? That you can't have a kid and you can't have a baby because you only have one ovary. I'm able to. Hopefully this pregnancy goes all perfect, and I will have my baby soon. I don't know what it is yet. I hope to go to a doctor soon. All that cancer and ovarian cancer thing problem that I had did make me strong, made me a little bit more bitchy. I don't know if the bitchy word is the right one. Like a little bit more strong, way more mature. And throughout all my cancer treatment and all my chemo, I am a silly, funny person by nature. I do not like to cry in front of my parents, or now, like I like to be happy all the time. And throughout my chemotherapy, that was me. I tried to be happy all the time because I didn't want it to be sad and crying and all that stuff. So my family wouldn't see that, and for them to feel that way. I didn't want them to feel more pain. And I wanted to be the happy person that I am now, that's my nature. And that's what I want to show after to my baby, that being happy is the best way to be. And having cancer or any other illness does not stop you, if you're a woman, from having a baby. And if you have one ovary, You just have to try and not give up, and you'll have your pregnancy. I think that's all I'm gonna share today in this video. The only thing that I want to say is that I recommend you that if you feel weird in any way, in your stomach or any area, go and check yourself. Check with 1, 2, 3 doctors if you need to. Have different opinions, and check yourself, and so you discard anything. If it's even if it's a flu, you just want to go and check yourself. You don't want to be too late, because if I were to be a little bit later, then it would be worse, and then my cancer would spread out some more. And actually, my doctor had told me if I had to choose a cancer, I would choose the one you have because it's curable. So I got the nice cancer, I guess. And now that I'm 15 weeks and 5 weeks pregnant, I will now make Fridays, baby Fridays, and I will give you updates in my pregnancy and whatever babyish things I have to share. And hopefully I get an appointment with the doctor soon. I know it's terrible for me not to see a doctor at the moment, but there's no way I could see one. My insurance is stupid. They don't want me to see anywhere else. If I go to the county hospital, it's going to hospitals remind me of going back to when I had cancer and I had the surgery. So going to a hospital is very, very hard for me. So I'd rather wait until March 1st so I can go to a nice doctor in a nice hospital that I will know they will treat me right. Because the hospital that I want to go is the same, not the same, but the same hospital thing that find out about my cancer. So I want to go with them again, and my pregnancy will be safe with them. So sorry for the awkward and sad video. I just wanted to share this with you, and if you really want me to go into details and what happened and what was I diagnosed and all that stuff about my ovarian cancer from 5 years ago, I'm okay right now. I'm very good. Leave me a comment down below, and then I can give another detailed video about my ovarian cancer. And I guess that's all. I am very happy now with my bump. I am very, very happy, I promise. I will see you on next time with another video and more crafts and more other stuff. I'm really